Good afternoon, Cock. This is the Championship predictions for this weekend's games. Just a little update on the profit/loss as well. If you didn't see the last one, then we're going to start putting a quid on both the results, so 1-0 to whichever side I'm saying, and also the results, so for example Millwall to win or draw or whatever. So we're putting 2 quid on each game. Are you ready for this? I actually don't think you're ready. I don't think people are prepared for the amount of money that we're making right now. £2.18 profit. Oh. Whoa! Money! Oh God, I'm so... Honestly, sometimes I think maybe I actually don't know anything. But then there's just proof in the pudding, isn't there? £2.18 profit. You don't get this anywhere else. God, I'm a baller. Anyway, Sheffield United versus Hull on Friday, neat. I do fancy Sheffield United, just straight off back, just based on the fact that they're at home and they've lost, what, 1 game all year at home? Which were to Burnley, I believe. I think that's the only loss that they've had. And they've drawn 2 and then won over 10. They've only conceded 5 goals all year. Do you know what I mean? As much as all definitely harder to beat now. Ruben Sellers has come in and done a good job. They are still losing games, but that's based on the squad level being absolutely horrific. I wouldn't say that's down to the structure or the shape or tactics that Mr. Ruben is deploying. I would say it is the level of the squad which is really, really low. You just can't hide it. Do you know what I mean? This whole squad is poor. They lost last game to QPR. I don't think there's any shame in that really because QPR are a very good side. But away at Sheffield United on a Friday night, just scream Sheffield United win to me. And even though Sheffield United don't concede a lot of goals, I probably can see all scoring. I do think it'll be closer than what Sheffield United have been dealing with recently, especially at home. Obviously away at Swansea, they won 2-1, but I watched that game and they were absolutely shit. Especially at first half, like really, really poor. The team selection were all over the place. But I do think now with Ben Brereton coming in as well, I think he'll start him for this game. To be fair, I thought he'd started him at Swansea and he'd come on at like half time at 60 minutes or something. He's got to start this game. So I think Sheffield United win 2-1. I do think it'll be closer than the games that they've had recently, Sheffield United at home. But I can see all scoring. Luton and Millwall next. Oh, God. Oh, God, oh, God. Luton obviously lost 3-2 at Oxford. No shame in that really at the minute because Oxford are obviously on shit up form. They're probably one of the most informed teams in the country. But the same problems do just persist all the time, which is the core of the squad is weak as piss, I think, Luton. I think they're just... Obviously, they got the 0-0 against Preston and made Preston create very little. But as a whole, Luton are just still too easy to play against. I don't think they are getting better, slowly. And I think if they were playing a better side, they would probably be dropping major points again. But based on the fact that Millwall, they just don't win away. Do you know what I mean? That's the main problem with Millwall. So I'm just writing that off straight away. But the thing is with Millwall, they're not losing away. They only lose away to sides that you'd say are actually quite good. Like the recent 2 losses, they've lost like 2 in 8 games, say, away from home, which is to Middlesbrough, good side, and Norwich, Boxing Day, I think it were, but that's when Borja Sands was still playing and he was shit hot. So they're the only 2 losses. They've drawn to like Wednesday, Coventry, Stoke, teams like that, poorer teams. So that makes me want to go with a draw here, and I'm going to do. I'll probably go for a 1-1. Because I don't think there's going to be loads and loads of goals in it, despite the obvious 3-2 loss that Luton just had. I don't think there'll be loads of goals in this, so I will go for a 1 apiece. Norwich and Swansea. Like I just said, I'll watch the Swansea Sheffield United game. I would rather watch Swansea versus Sheffield United than any Champions League at minute, because that just bores life out of me. I've got to be completely real. Just a little tangent here. I think the new group stage system shit. I've literally not been interested in it at all. Man City have lost 3 games, drawn 2. Still going to go through one last day, so it's pointless. It's just boring to me. I would rather watch Swansea and Sheffield United. And I'm glad I did, to be fair, because that first half, especially Swansea, were really, really good. I do think it was a mixture of Sheffield United also being equally shit. And the pitch didn't help. It was quite a level of that. But Swansea did look really, really good in first half. They just can't finish the dinner, which I think will be the same problem here. I don't see them scoring away. Do you know what I mean? The last 3 games as well. Well, they've lost the last 4 Swansea. Let's just say that for a start. They lost the last 4 away games. One's it cut to Southampton. But they lost 2-1 away at all. And then after that, they've been pumped 4-0 at Portsmouth, 3-0 at Southampton, and 3-0 at Cardiff. If they can't score at home, on their own patch, which style of football they like to play, I don't think they'll be scoring away at Norwich. I've got to be completely real right now. I fancy a Norwich win. I'm going to go for a steady 2-0. Yeah. Stoke versus Oxford. Stoke confused me. The lineup that they went with confused me against Portsmouth. Because they didn't start Nathan Lowe. They brought him back from Walsall and then lobbed him straight in against West Brom. I don't know if it's like a fitness issue or what, but then they benched him against Portsmouth after he'd scored a really nice goal. And then they offered nothing really going forward. away at Portsmouth. Obviously, they got a goal, but they offered very little. I don't think he's daft, Matt Robbins. I do think he'll put him probably straight back in again. But Oxford, again, really, really good form that they're in. Obviously, coming off back-to-back wins against Blackburn and Luton, both at home. Away, not as efficient. But at the same time, they're not losing games, and I don't really think they will here. Stoke aren't exactly world beaters at home, do you know what I mean? They've only won 2 out of the last 8 games, but they've only lost 2 as well, and that were to Leeds and Burnley. So they're only losing to good sides at home. Oxford, as much as they're in good form at the minute, are not one of those top sides like a Leeds or Burnley, so I don't think they'll win. Again, I'm just going to go for a steady Eddie. We'll go for a 1 apiece. But Oxford are really, really chipping away. Like, bringing Gary Rowett in, the only way that sacking Des Buckingham would have worked is to bring in someone like Gary Rowett or an Alex Neil, someone that has just got loads of championship experience and knows league. Do you know what I mean? And I think, it's obviously paid off for him because the mile's clear now. I think there's a lot to be said about foreign coaches and like the tactical nuance that they come with a lot of the time. They're always like very well drilled and stuff like this. You know what I mean? They always like to play a certain way, but there's not enough said about managers like Gary Rowett who know how this league works. Do you know what I mean? Like going to somewhere like Portsmouth, you would not want to play tippy-tappy bullshit away at Portsmouth, but you wouldn't know to not play tippy-tappy bullshit away at Portsmouth unless you've been to Portsmouth. Do you know what I mean? Stuff like that, I think English managers don't get enough credit a lot of the time, I think, and Gary Rowett is a very good one with a lot of experience in this league and a know how and how to keep teams up. Bristol City and Blackburn. I like Bristol City. Do you know what I mean? I'm genuinely really liking the performances recently. But the same thing is happening again with within touching distance at playoffs, get a massive nosebleed and then just don't win in 3 games, which is what they've done again. They lost to Wolves in Cup, which I'm not overly bothered about. Then they lose to Coventry. And then it takes them a late equaliser away at Wednesday, overnight, in midweeker, to pull a draw. Which I called, by the way. Just want to put that one on there. I don't know, but again, Blackburn, I'm not like overly convinced on. They've lost 2 in a row without scoring. They got absolutely slammed at home to Coventry and all. I know, like they're not had loads of shots conceded, but the chances that they were conceding against Coventry were very, very good ones. So they were getting in way too easy. To be fair as well with Blackburn, it's not a case of both teams scoring a lot of time. It's always like a 1-0 or a 2-0 either side. It's not like a lot of 2-1s. So that being said, I'm going to go 2-1 Bristol City. Yeah, I'm fancying it a little bit. I think Blackburn is sliding a little bit. The squad quality is showing a little bit recently. They've not been able to keep up with your Middlesbroughs and sides like that, especially like your top 4 that have pulled away. But I think that the teams with much better personnel are going to finish above Blackburn. I'm not saying Bristol City are one of them, by the way. Cardiff and Derby. I mean, Derby have lost 6 games on bounce. Do you know what I mean? They've lost 6 games in a row, one of which to Leighton Orient Away Cup. They're not scoring enough goals. They haven't scored in 3 games in Championship, that is. They're also not conceding loads of goals, in fairness. And against the Cardiff side that out lost now in 7 games. Pulled it back from 2 goals down away at Millwall to draw. I fancy Cardiff. I fancy a 1-0. That's what I'm going to say. Seriously, Derby and Paul Warner in trouble if they do not sort this out and fast. Coventry versus Watford. I mean, Coventry have won 3 out-bounce ones in Cup. Watford, I mean, again, they got slammed out to Preston, didn't they? They were only 2-1, but there were a lot of chances for Preston there, and I didn't think there would be. Quite a toughie. Again, my instinct just wants to give Coventry a win, just based on chances that they're making recently, and that they're sort of switching it up with the type of shots that they're having, which I'm really liking. The squad obviously massively favours Coventry with the players that they've got compared to Watford. And I would assume that Coventry at home are quite good. Yeah, they've not lost in 7 games, actually. They've not lost in 7 games. Scoring fair few. They're more or less always good odds for a goal. I do always fancy Watford for one as well, though, so I'll go in over 2-1 Coventry, I think. Preston Middlesbrough, that is a game. That is going to be a good game, because Preston is sort of like creeping the way up back to the neighbours, aren't they, Bristol City? They're sort of like pushing the way to mid-table again. Middlesbrough, very, very good win against West Brom. I was massively impressed with that. Tough! Again, tough. Preston don't lose at home, though. They actually just don't. There's a lot of sides that are like very, very good at home, and there's probably reasons that they just don't go down ever. Preston are one of them. They've won 3 out of the last 4. They've drawn the 4 before that, though. A lot of 1-1s. And Middlesbrough away. I'm going to go for a 1-1 again. I'm going to go for a 1-1. QPR on Wednesday. I mean, probably 2 of the best managers in the league. With 2 squads that really aren't that good. Both massively overperforming, I would say. Performances are good, especially from a QPR standpoint. 4 wins out of the last 5 games. Well, it's 4 wins in a row in Championship, do you know what I mean? They obviously got arse all the way at Leicester in Cup. 4 wins in a row for QPR. I fancy him again. To be fair, with the profit/loss thing, I were in serious trouble, and then Wednesday came in with a save because I called 2-2 for that, so that just lumped loads of money on it. And Norwich, I fancy a QPR win, but a close one. I'm going to say 2-1 to QPR. Yeah, I'm going to say 2-1 to QPR. Sunderland and Plymouth, oh my God. Right, I'm recording this morning, so Thursday morning, the day that this video goes out. Last night, I watched Plymouth lose 5-0 at home to Burnley, and in second half, they just completely took foot off gas. You know what I mean? They didn't even try in second half. Completely were just void of effort. They just didn't care, Burnley. They were 5-0 up at half-time. Plymouth are so embarrassingly shit, I feel sorry for him. Don't get me wrong, it's serious character building, and you know what? Only proper clubs get absolutely hammered in Championship and finish last. We've all been there. It happens to the best of us. Just get on with it and come down here with lads. And after losing 5-0 to Burnley, can I see him doing anything away at Sunderland? No. So for that reason, I could definitely see Plymouth winning this game, especially when they've not won away in about 100 years in league. Obviously, they got the Brentford one. But in league, the shit. Sunderland, I mean, I definitely fancy him for a win and a comfortable one at that. I don't think it'll be 5, but not a million miles off. We'll go 3-0. I don't think it's fair to blame this manager at Plymouth either, because he's been dealt a really, really poor hand. Whittaker's in squad, but just doesn't show up. So he's a tosser, isn't he, clearly. And the squad level is just miles off it. So yeah, I think I'd 3-0 Sunderland. Baggies and Pompey. Oof. Portsmouth, to be fair, really, really good at home. Really good. Score a lot of goals, but away the shit. And I think that's fair to say. I think a Portsmouth fan would agree with me there. Can I see him winning away at West Brom? Absolutely not. No chance. West Brom do not lose games at home. Very, very rare. They do draw a fair few, but at the same time, I think with the fact that Portsmouth just don't get any points away really that much, and they definitely don't score enough goals away from home compared to at home, I can see like a comfy West Brom 2-0 here. So I'm gonna stick with that. I'm gonna go off instinct straight away and just go for a West Brom 2-0 win. Which takes us into Big Dog. It's Burnley and Leeds on Monday night. That's a massive, massive game, that. Obviously, like I just said, Burnley won 5-0. Before that, another huge game that we did the watch along for were Burnley 0, Sunderland 0. And if it weren't for Trafford's heroics at end, they'd have lost that. They're not that good at home, Burnley. Obviously, they're unbeaten, but they're not like running away with points together like Leeds and Sheffield United are at home. They draw a lot. They don't concede a lot, but they draw a lot of games at home. But I think they're helped by the fact that Leeds' away form is only reason that they've not won league already. And also they've got Millier in net. So you've always got a chance of conceding when he's in net. I really, there's something in me that wants to give Leeds this win. Well, I don't want to give Leeds the win. Let me just scratch that off right now. But I'm feeling like a statement win here for Leeds. But I can't do it. I can't do it. Just based on the fact that Burnley are unbeaten at home and the defensive record's so good. I won't be surprised with another 0-0 either. Same with Sunderland. But I'm going to stick with a draw. Go with 1-1. No Desmonds this week. I'm going with a 1-1. And that's it. All right. Are we done? Thank you as always for watching, boys. It's been an absolute pleasure. Like I said, absolute money bags over here. This is not financial advice. Don't do it, because I guarantee you I finish in negatives by the time this is done. But yeah, thank you as always for watching. Make sure you subbed and liked the vid, please, if you actually liked it. Thank you so much. Kiss. Goodbye. Did
I say I'm a man, yes, I'm a mucker. I think of me saying as a right good looker. I say up that. Show us the tits.